I understand the title of this video can come across a little aggressive, so before you comment anything, please go watch my last video on why people love living in Sudbury. With that out of the way, let's talk about why people might hate living in Sudbury. My first reason for why people might not like living here is our winters. Earlier this week, we had a couple days where it was -30 and closer to -40 with the wind chill. The amount of laundry I do practically doubles in the winter because I won't leave the house unless I'm wearing 2 layers of pretty much everything. Recently, I had clients that wanted to come up for a showing, and once they realized it was going to be -30, they canceled and asked me to send them videos of the property instead. And these temperatures hit extra hard because Sudbury is very much an outdoor city. One of the biggest reasons why me and a lot of other people love living here is because there's so many amazing trails and things to do outside. And when the weather gets as cold as it does, it makes enjoying those trails just a little bit harder. It might sound like common sense, but dressing warm is key to how much you love living in Sudbury. My second reason for why people might hate living here is our construction. I know it can seem like every city has construction issues, but I feel like Sudbury is a little different. It seems like every year our construction finishes around a week or two before the snow hits the ground, which means overnight it's already been freezing. Actually, this year they continued to work in the snow. But when concrete or asphalt gets poured and it's not given enough time to settle before it freezes, it can lose a lot of its strength. And as I said before, Sudbury is an outdoor city, which means a lot of people drive things like large trucks. And those large trucks, along with everyone else in Sudbury, drives over those freshly paved potholes, smashing them into brand new ones, and the cycle repeats itself. My third reason for why people might hate living in Sudbury is the walkability. Sudbury is a very spread out city due to all the rock that we have to build around. About 1.8 billion years ago, a giant rock hit our planet, creating the third largest impact crater on Earth, and all these years later we call that crater the Sudbury Basin. It gave us Sudbury's mining industry as well as some of the lowest walkability scores on Realtor.ca. Because of this rock, our city and its resources are built to be fairly spread out. Sudbury wasn't built on a grid system like a lot of larger cities down south are, so if you're trying to get around Sudbury, I highly recommend you use a vehicle. Walkability is kind of an appropriate segue into my final reason for why people might hate living in Sudbury, and it's our downtown. Sudbury's downtown has a lot of potential that it's having a hard time reaching. We have a downtown arena that's in need of some renovations if Sudbury wants to attract more big-name entertainers and just more people in general. I know the Wolves and the Sudbury 5 would feel so much more support at their home games if the arena was just a bit more inviting. In terms of businesses downtown, there seems to be new restaurants and coffee shops popping up every now and then, but that's mainly all you'll see. There's a few staple restaurant and bars that people in the city love, but other than that, if there's not a festival happening, downtown can be pretty dead. Up Here Fest, Poutine Fest, and Rib Fest are just a few of the festivals that help liven up Sudbury's downtown, but as soon as those festivals leave, it's almost like they never happened. Except for the Up Here Festival, of course, which after every year sees dozens of murals left across Sudbury's downtown, and honestly, it's worth walking around to see all these murals, but like most downtowns, don't go out too late. One way to illustrate Sudbury's downtown issue is by looking at the KED project. It's a project that would see a new arena and casino built on the outskirts of the city, and it's received a ton of pushback as people think that the money and attention going towards this project should be focused downtown. I might make a video on this topic in the future, but if you want to know more right now, I'll leave some articles in the description. So those are my reasons why people might hate living in Sudbury, Ontario. Again, if you haven't yet, be sure to check out my other video on why people love living in Sudbury, but other than that, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please let me know, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.